The first ever Love Island South Africa is here with the hottest singles from around South Africa.
I would like to couple up with this boy because I think we have a great connection and I think our personalities suit each other really well. So the boy I would like to couple up with is...
A couple.
Can I have a title?
On the date, Libo said he was with Timna and he was going to stay loyal. Good old Libo. Nothing could go wrong now.
Hello, it's me. Hello everyone and welcome to Color Me Grey. First of all, I want to say the reason I'm wearing a jacket is because it's cold outside. It was raining. I think it stopped right now, but it was raining. It's not that cold, it's just that I'm feeling cold and my room is cold, so that's why I'm wearing a jacket. So yeah, welcome to the video. Today we are going to talk about a little lovely subject, Love Island South Africa, and most importantly, why it failed and why it was not a success that Mnet and MultiChoice wanted it to be. So first of all, gonna brief about Love Island, how it started, how it branched, and how it made its way to South Africa, and how the public deemed it to be as. So yeah, most of them talk like this on Love Island, so I'm gonna talk like this for now. I cannot do accents to save my life, so I'm sorry guys. Okay, so a brief background. Love Island started back in 2005 as Celebrity Love Island, which was created by ITV Studios, and it failed. I feel like they wanted to make like a Big Brother-esque because Big Brother was very big at the time. So they wanted to make a Big Brother-esque show. So they created Love Island, and there were a lot of trash TV shows booming at the time, like on MTV. So ITV wanted to create their own, so they created Celebrity Love Island, which failed, but it came back later in 2015 and rebranded itself, which we're going to talk about later. So the premise of the show features a group of single contestants known as islanders who live together in a constructed villa which is isolated from the outside world in an attempt to find love and fame. These days it's mostly about fame and not the love per se. The islanders are continuously monitored during the stay in the house by television cameras and personal audio microphones. The islanders couple up throughout the series to avoid being dumped. So additionally, the public will vote for their favorite islanders to stay or for their least favorite islanders to go, in which new islanders enter the villa, and at the end of the season the public vote one more time to determine the winner, who wins £50,000. Sometimes the housemates, the islanders, vote for who they want the favorite couple to stay. Most of them vote for their friends, obviously, because you live in the same house, so you vote for your friend and they leave. But sometimes the old islanders do come back, like in the middle of the show, so we're gonna get to that. So yeah, now the success of Love Island. Love Island was rebooted in 2015 after its fail in 2005 as Love Island because before it was Celebrity Love Island, and it built an audience through word of mouth. It became popular, like very popular, having enormous ratings. It was one of the most watched reality series at the time, and yeah, it boomed success for the commercial broadcasters, ITV, and the show itself. And the contestants gained a following of their own on massive platforms like Instagram. Mainly Instagram, because most of them want to be Instagram famous, and some of them become YouTubers, so they get they build an audience through Love Island, then they branch it out to their YouTube channels where they do a lot of things. So even though the prize money is £50,000, the real prize for a lot of people on the show is becoming a D-list celebrity, in which you gain millions or thousands of followers and stand a chance to spin their newfound popularity. A very good example I can mention off the top of my head is Molly May and Tommy Fury, in which they are very big and they have a child, they're getting married. I'm so happy for them. So those are the people. The thing is, I don't watch Love Island that much. I try to watch Love Island, but I can never finish the series. It's so long. I can never finish it. 40 episodes, and each episode is an hour. I tried watching it. I watched season 1, in which I did not finish, and I can only remember Josh and Jonathan. So those are people I can list at the top of my head. I watched last season. I didn't finish it again, but I watched it, and I can remember Tyreek. Tyreek is handsome. I can remember Tyreek, Ella, Mitch, Messy Mitch. Oh, Mitch. Yeah, those are the people I can think at the top of my head. So with Love Island gaining a popularity, it branched out to different people, with France's version of Love Island becoming the most successful besides the UK Love Island. And I can't find where I can watch Love Island France with subtitles, so someone help me with that, because I want to watch it. So it branched, later creating Love Island in 2020 in South Africa, in which that's what we're mainly going to focus today, and why it didn't meet what was supposed to be met. It failed. In other words, it failed. For me personally, maybe the ratings were good, I don't know, but for me it failed, and I'll talk about why.
It's the first ever Love Island South Africa, where the hottest, sassiest singles from around the country go on a search for love.
South Africa decided to create its own Love Island in 2020, and it premiered on 2021 on Mnet DSTV channel 101, 28 February 2021. There were 26 islanders for 32 days. The islanders lived in a villa in a vineyard in Cape Town, constantly under video surveillance, as I mentioned in the premise of the show. The winning couples received 500,000 rands. On the first day, the islanders couple up, in which the girls first enter the villa, then they get to know each other then the guys come, then the guys choose who they want to couple up with.
Ladies, it's time to couple up.
But I feel so sad for the last girl, because she didn't, the guy didn't get a chance to choose, and the girl didn't be like, okay, I want this one. They just added, but they can change throughout the series, so it's fine. So on the first day, the islanders couple up based on first impressions, but throughout the series, they're forced to recouple if they want to, where they can choose to remain their current couple or change to another couple. Any islander who remains single after recoupling is eliminated or dumped from the island. The islanders can also be eliminated via a public vote throughout the series. And Love Island South Africa only has one season to date, and we'll find out why. So when it first premiered in February, the first episode, I watched 3 episodes of Love Island. I can say that I did not like it from the first episode, because it's Love Island South Africa. I feel like if it was Love Island somewhere in Europe, maybe Love Island Italy, I wouldn't mind. But there was only one black female and one black male in a country where the majority is black in Africa. There was only one black. We see this a lot in the other Love Islands, of course. But then in those Love Islands in Europe, most of the population is white. Here, most of the population is black. So why was there one black female and one black male on the first episode? And the thing is, for me, I'm a little bit biased, but the black female and male were the most good looking to me. Timna, gorgeous hand with the beautiful body, followed by Renee. So yeah, it was heavily criticized for the lack of diversity, which it had to be. And I found an article on the discourse of Love Island from bubblegum.co.za, and you should check out the article. I link it in the bio. It was very good, and it nangs on a lot of things, and I got most of the information for this part of the video from Bubblegum. So I will say, Bubblegum says, when Love Island was first announced as the new South African edition in November 2020, the hype began. It's to build something new. However, when the season premiered on Sunday, February 28th, with only 2 black contestants, Timna and Durang, there was a fair amount of disappointment, and I could understand why. The issue goes back to lack of representation, but also ebbs into how only the 2 black contestants are portrayed. The editing, sound effects, and camera angles all play a part in creating narratives surrounding each character to frame them. So in the first episode, I couldn't get what kind of person Timna was. In the show, they portrayed Durang as the F-boy, the player. He is very in your face. He wants a cuddle. He's very touchy. And yeah, like Durang was portrayed as the muscular man. Like, I want you right now. Come get me. Things like that. And I could say that it was very different from the others, because I thought they would portray Cage like that, because Cage came in and was like, yeah, I'm the man's girl, I do this and this. But I found it very iffy on how they portrayed Durang like that. But Cage was the one who was very, for me, you see, there are a lot of cuts on the show, like a lot of cuts. They never allow us to hear much of the conversations, and in a conversation between Timna and Durang, it seemed like Durang as a cheating player, as I said, and Timna completely uninterested and lost, and Durang seemed, but I love Durang. Durang is a very good talker. I love Durang. Okay, I don't love Durang, but I like Durang. I like things. I've only watched 3 episodes of the show for this, so that I can talk about it. I don't want to go there with only articles and thingies like that. We can also talk about with the how did they get Timna's name wrong? They fixed it, but they got Timna's name wrong. It's not that difficult. Oh, I was so embarrassed for the show. When they were announcing on Instagram, these are your girlies, they posted Timna's name wrong. Oh, that was very embarrassing. There was a lot of things wrong with that show. So when we get into stats, in South Africa has to date 58 million people in the population. 80% are described as Black African, and only 7.9% are white. And because of this, I don't think this is the only thing why they lost a lot of popularity. Besides the fact that the show, I'm going to talk about the show, how boring it was. It wasn't that boring, but it wasn't good also. So, the major sponsor cancelled its support for the show, and they said that the reason they cancelled it is because they said Lotosar has made a decision to withdraw its sponsorship of Love Island SA. Respectfully, we wish the show and its contestants every success. Also, another TV critic, Thinas Ferreira, described the show as shockingly embarrassing. Yes, the show is aimed at the ... channel's audience, and it does skew to white and female, but that is not an excuse, and it's not an excuse here in South Africa. A reality show like Love Island SA is anchored and done in South Africa and must reflect at least the modicum, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that word right, of reality and South Africa. I talked to my friend about this, and she said like Love Island was similar to maybe to Survivor, but I haven't watched Survivor SA, and Survivor SA does, I don't know if it gets a lot of slack, but she said the show is similar to Survivor, but in Survivor with the highlights, because it's popular. I don't know if it's popular right now, but it was popular at some point. It had a lot of black contestants, even though it had white contestants, it had a lot of black contestants, but Love Island had only had 2. The narrator was white, the host was white, so it didn't it didn't make sense for me. The casting did not make sense at all. How did that happen? Anyways, let's move on from the lack of diversity from the show, because I can go on and on and on about they did this, they did that, which they did. Don't get me fooled. They did. But I can go on and on about that, and there's a lot I could say. So go read the article on bubblegum.co.za, and there's another article on The Guardian. I'm going to link that in the bios, which talk about why they decided to take that decision, and which they never say why they decided to take that decision. They just talk about... there's a lot, so go read those articles. They're very good. Another thing is that the show has very low production, and I don't know why. The music sounds like royalty-free music, in which in Love Island in Europe, the music makes the show. Like, you have a conversation, then Adele is playing in the background. You have a fun conversation, then Dua Lipa. Here, you have a good conversation, then I don't know what that is. It sounds like something you made from GarageBand or BandLab. The music is horrible. The music is not nice, not good at all. I don't like it. And if these are like artists that we know, it's just that I don't know them and it's not my musical taste. I'm very sorry about that music. But the music from Love Island is not good at all. In which I don't know why they couldn't get good music. Maybe they didn't want to pay the royalties, but they have money. Like, even if DSTV has money, people watch Love Island because there's different channels on DSTV, and the packages. 101 channel features on the most expensive package on DSTV, which is DSTV Premium, and they pay some people pay over 1,000 rands for DSTV Premium, which is unacceptable. Anyways, some people pay over 1,000 rands, and I don't understand how they couldn't get good music, or at least South African songs that we know of, because there's a lot of South African artists who make really, really good songs. Cape Townian artists who make really, really good songs, and they couldn't get it. They just got some I feel like they got royalty-free music. I don't want to lie. Now, with the poor music taste, we move on to the poor production. And there's a lot to talk about. I found something on... It's a blog, so it's heavily biased, mostly negative, but it's heavily biased. But I read through this blog and it was very nice. I'm gonna link in bio, obviously. And the person starts by saying the sound and mixing on Love Island SA could have been better. In several instances, there was silence throughout the first episode with a silent credit roll. I didn't notice that. Maybe because the thing is, when you aren't looking for something, you don't find it. So I didn't look for silent sounds, but I could say that the picture quality was very poor. The sound quality was meh. It was fine, but the picture quality was very poor. It was very gray toned, and I don't know why. It was supposed to be in summer. Anyway, it contains a lot of mistakes, including wrong spelt names, in which we talk about and how they spelled Timna's name wrong. Sometimes the production crew could be heard talking over the islanders. There was a crossfeed of audio channels, mics overlapping. I saw that the mics overlapping. Maybe there's a conversation here, but you can hear another conversation which is not on screen. That was very confusing. And multiple editors are listed as working on Love Island essay, ranging from Jacques Leroux as senior story editor, Owen de Bruyne, and so on. I'll link it in bio. So the production, it was not good, because Love Island is very, the thing is, as people who watch Love Island UK, they take that information and they hope to see that in Love Island essay. So when you don't see it, you're like, what is this show? Because everything is the villa is, they try to make the villa the same. The villa is very small, but they try to make the villa the same. So episode 1, I think, for me personally, because I watched 3 episodes, I can't talk about the entire series. Episode 2 was better than episode 1 for me, and I don't know why, but episode 2 was way better than episode. I feel like the new girl in episode 2 came, like, brought a vibe. Millie has a vibe though. But I feel like the second girl, I think her name is Sarah.
Hi, I'm Sarah Fisher. I'm 25 years old and I'm from Gauteng Centurion.
Brought a lot to the show. So that is my take on episode 1. I think the conversations were forced because they just met each other, and it's like when you just meet a person, conversations are forced. So, and some of them were boring, not very boring, but boring. I don't want to lie. So with that, I would say that, yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not that much of a fan of Love Island though. There's not much I can say besides the fact that it was meh. I don't know if there's going to be a second season again. I highly doubt there's going to be a second season because it's been 3 years. But from what I noticed is that I feel like they didn't try. They should have tried. Okay, the villa was in a vineyard. It was not good looking. And you could see the production. Like, if they had an aerial thingy-me, forgot what it's called, like an aerial camera, you would see the production crews down there going up and down. And on Love Island, you would rarely see the production crews running around. On here, you could see the cameras. Maybe there's a camera, then the cameraman in front of this one showing the islanders over there will walk past them. You would see the mics that the mic people are holding. Sorry, I don't know what they are. That the mic people are holding on screen, and you would really, I feel like they did not try with the show. They just went with it as it is, and they got the reception that they should have gotten. They gave out that, and they got the reception, and I don't blame people for giving them flack of how they didn't care about that. I would say Love Island South Africa was a botched TV show. They tried. Like every other trash reality TV show, they tried to make something new. They couldn't make something new. They failed. But they will learn from this and they will come back stronger. I hope. I really, really hope. And we need more diversity in terms of people coming from different provinces. People came from only 3 places, 3 or 4. Cape Town, Joburg, Durban, Pretoria. That's it. Where's someone from the Eastern Cape? From Port Elizabeth, East London, the Northwest, Mpumalanga, Nelspruit. Where are the people who live in those places? Okay, did they audition, and how was the audition process? How were you supposed to get into the show? Because it seemed like maybe there was a hierarchy. I don't know. Maybe they only audition people from the big cities. So how to audition for Love Island? So first of all, you go on their website and you fill out an application form. Fill in the basic details. You submit a full-length photo of yourself with additional photos of your which are optional, your contact details, social media handles, and your occupation. You must submit a landscape-oriented video of yourself explaining why you want to be on Love Island and what makes you a good fit for the program. You must also disclose your gender, sexual orientation, present employment, and a bit more of your personality, which sets you apart from the other people who are auditioning for the show. Apart from the other information, you need to complete the lengthy questionnaire and be able to provide information about your mental and physical well-being, level of physical activity, sexual preferences, past relationship, political beliefs, religion, race, and criminal record. Before submitting the application, carefully read the terms and conditions, and in order to be eligible for the program, you need to be 18 years old or older at the time of the application. You must not be working for Love Island, Motion, or the broadcaster, or any ITV PLC owned businesses. You must not be a close family member or a live-in partner of the program employee. The participants must be able or willing to obtain a passport that is valid for at least 6 months after the program's conclusion date. They have to be exclusively available to take part in the program for at least 10 weeks in a row. There's a lot in the application process. So if you apply online and with this, so where you live is or isn't a factor. I would feel like it shouldn't be a factor, but depending on what I just read, it is a factor. So yeah, that's a lot of information. So closing remarks. You need to do better, Love Island. Do better. I mean, I want to watch the show again. I have to finish. I don't think I'm gonna finish this one, guys. It's not good. I don't think I am gonna finish this one. And it's not even available on catch up. I had to go to some website in which I had to risk a virus for my laptop. So I'm hoping my laptop doesn't have a virus. I had to risk a virus for my laptop because it's not available on catch up and on Showmax. And I don't know why. Why is it not available on catch up? At least people can get it from another perspective, like new eyes, things like that. But I feel like if the show was placed in another continent, first of all, Europe, in another country, the show would be fine. People wouldn't have this much of a discussion and a disruption that they would have sometimes. But because it's where it is right now, and that's the problem, we need more diversity, guys. There's only 7.9 whites. Besides blacks, where are the coloreds? There were no coloreds in that show. Where are the Indians, the Asians? South Africa is a very diverse country. Very diverse country. And another thing that I noticed is that no African, besides Afrikaans, no other African languages were spoken, and I want to know why. Because the Afrikaans speaking people were free to speak Afrikaans, and they had subtitles to their Afrikaans, but Durang and Timna did not speak. Okay, but who they speak their languages to? But there were other black contestants who came on later on. It's just that I haven't reached the episode where there are black contestants who are coming on now. But where are the African languages? Where are the African languages? Where's my Zulu king and Zulu queen? My Xhosa Han, my Pedi Han, my Tswana Han, my Swati Han. I'm a Swati. I also want a Swati babe there. So if there's going to be a Love Island for next time, I would say that the public has voiced what they want and what they like and what they don't like. And it's time for the producers and the makers and the creators of the show to listen and put that into effect. But other than that, I have nothing more to say besides critics said it. The show was shockingly embarrassing. And I agree. So there's a lot of reasons why Love Island SA failed, and we spoke about them. And there's more reasons in which you can comment, interact, please, your beliefs and whatnot, and why the show failed. But for me, Nosipos Melane, Color Me Gray, I would say see you on the next one. Hello from the other side. I must have called 1,000 times to tell you I'm sorry for everything that I've done, but it don't matter, it clearly doesn't tell you a pardon me.